Solve the following equations. Give answers in the standard form of a complex number. All right, so remember standard form again. I want a plus bi forms in the end. All right, m squared is equal to negative 16. Well, this isn't too difficult. If we have m squared equals a number, we can use that square root property. So then m would equal plus or minus square root negative 16. So then m would equal plus or minus, now the square root of negative 16, that's a square root of 16 and a square root of negative 1. So m would equal plus or minus 4i. So there are two solutions to this equation, negative 4i and positive 4i, and they are complex. They're in standard form because there's no real part. X squared plus 3x is equal to negative 20. Well, it's quadratic. I can't use that square root property here, so instead what I'm going to use is the quadratic formula. But to do that, I have to get the one side to equal to 0. So adding 20 to both sides, x squared plus 3x plus 20 is 0. Now I'll apply the quadratic formula. So x would equal opposite of 3 plus or minus square root 3 squared minus 4 by 1 by 20 over 2 times 1. So that would be negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus 80 over 2. Negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 71 over 2. All right, so right now I see that this has no real solutions. When I see that square root of a negative number, no real solutions. So now let's put it in standard form of a complex number. All right, so the first thing I'll do is rewrite that square root of negative 71. So that's negative 3 plus or minus root 71i over 2. And then get them into standard form. Negative 3 halves plus or minus root 71 over 2i. And so there are two solutions to the equation. They are complex. Negative 3 halves minus root 71 over 2i, and negative 3 halves plus root 71 over 2i. T cubed minus 6t squared plus 10 is equal to, plus 10t is equal to 0. All right, the first thing I'm going to do here is factor, actually. It's already equal to 0, but I see it's a t cubed. I'm going to use factoring. Notice that there's a common factor. So t times t squared minus 6t plus 10 is 0. So then t equals 0, or t squared minus 6t plus 10 equals 0. All right, now at this point I would try to factor really quick. Multiplying to 2 and adding to 6, 10 and 1, 2 and 5, neither of them work. So I'll use the quadratic formula. T would equal opposite of negative 6 plus or minus square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 by 1 by 10, all divided by 2 times 1. So that would be 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 40 over 2. That's 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 over 2. So that's 6 plus or minus 2i over 2. That one was much, square root of negative 4 is 2i. Continuing, that would be 6 over 2 plus or minus 2 over 2i, and so that's 3 plus or minus I. So there are three solutions to the equation. Move up here. X equals 0, x equals 3 minus I, x equals 3 plus I.